Howdy, I'm the Chinese Zodiac Killer, author of Necronomicon 2020, and frontman of the international touring metal band Penetration. Today I'm going to discuss how I cracked the coded message that I received using the Ouija board, thus proving that it was an authentic transmission from a non-human entity. In late 2004, I obtained an old William Fold talking board. This was a Ouija board before Parker Brothers bought the rights to it. My girlfriend at the time and I decided to give it a try. She called out to any spirits that were willing to talk to us. I called out to my spirit guide. I documented the results, which appeared to be gibberish. Just a series of letters and numbers in the format of run-on sentences. We asked the hypothetical spirit what the name of it was, to which it replied, N-A, N-A, N-A. When I asked for clarification if that was the name of it, it said yes, and then replied 4E, 4E, 4E. I asked if it was my spirit guide, to which it said yes, and kept repeating the sequence over and over. When she asked if it was her spirit guide, it said no, and that her spirit guide was G-S-A-S. As the time went on, we both became disillusioned. It just kept repeating the sequence, so we gave up, deciding that it was nonsense. Still, I sat there for a few minutes unconvinced. What would Aleister Crowley do? I asked myself. He'd probably see it as a coded message from the gods and try to decode it, I thought to myself in amusement. So, I stared at the gibberish written down and attempted to decode what was only hypothetically a coded message to begin with. When I looked at N-A, 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 I recognized that it was a sequence of 3 sets of N-A. I then recognized that N is the 14th letter of the English alphabet and A is the first. That meant that 3 sets of NA equaled 3 sets of the number 14 and the number 1. Now in mathematics, geometry, and numerology, all numbers can be reduced to a number between 1 and 9. Any numbers after 9 are just a repetition of the original sequence. So, each sequence of 14 and 1, if combined, equals 15. So now each sequence of NA has a numerical equivalent of the number 15, which coincidentally, in the tarot, which correlates to the Kabbalistic tree of life, is symbolic of the card of the devil. As I mentioned, every number beyond 9 can be reduced to base value by breaking it down. Number 15, if broken down into the numbers 1 plus 5, reduces to the base value of 6. So, 3 sequences of NA breaks down to 3 sets of 6, meaning that the spirit claiming to be my guide claimed its name and number was 666. I was stunned. Now, it also claimed that its name was 4E, 4E, 4E. Again, there were 3 sets of 4E. E is the 5th letter of the English alphabet. Thus, we had 3 sequences of the number 45. Now, 45, if reduced to base form, would break down to 4 plus 5, which equals 9. So 3 sets of 4E equals 999. A universal philosophy of occultists states, as above, so below. That which is above is a reflection of that which is below. Now, if the observer sees 666 rising from above their perspective, it would appear as 666. Yet, if the observer was above the number 666 looking downward at it, they would see the number 999. A similar analogy would be, does the galaxy spin clockwise or counterclockwise? If the observer is below the galaxy looking up, it spins clockwise. But if the observer views it from above, it would appear to spin counterclockwise. Thus, my spirit guide is identified by the unity of the numbers 666 and 999, which when combined is both the symbol for the astrological sign of Cancer and a hurricane or a typhoon. Now remember, her spirit guide was GSAS. When decoding the transmission, I realized answers were in English, but misspelled and spelled phonetically. GSAS, phonetically spoken, is Jesus. She was a Roman Catholic. Likewise, because the Ouija board has no space bar or punctuation, the transmission had been initially difficult to recognize as anything but long, run-on sentences of gibberish. Point of fact, because originally we had perceived the transmission as gibberish, and only through my own ingenuity in conjunction with the influence of Aleister Crowley was I able to decode it, thus proving it was a legitimate transmission. Likewise, while a skeptic could say that deducing the number 666 was just a coincidence, that theory was immediately debunked once the alternative identity of 999 was deduced and the guide of my Roman Catholic girlfriend was decided as Jesus. I then became obsessed with communicating with my spirit guide, who then claimed that it was Aiwass, the same entity that dictated Aleister Crowley's most famous work, the Book of the Law, to him. She consequently became terrified. Years of conversations with Aiwass followed, including a number of prophecies, all of which I documented into a series of colored notebooks, eventually seized by the FBI, but returned to me 20 months later via my lawyer. In 2020, after years of ceasing communication with Aiwass and forgetting the majority of content I had received, I then reviewed it and was shocked to see that many of the prophecies came true, including events foreshadowing a third world war. On the equinox of the fall, I published these documented experiences on Amazon Books as Necronomicon MMXX and spoken as Necronomicon 2020, the Book of the Howling Beasts, authored under my pen name, A. Crowley. Like, follow, and share. I have done things that have never been done before, and changing our collective reality. Get yourself a copy. Join us.